Note series of flagship devices or our S series of flagship devices, some of the key attributes and some of the key technology capabilities of those devices have been melted into this one product or one new model that we're launching here today, the Galaxy A8. So without further ado, I'd like to now describe the Galaxy A8 a little bit more in detail to you all. White. These are the devices. To describe a bit more about these, as I mentioned, the Galaxy A8 as well is a full metal unibody. It provides the slimmest form factor in our entire portfolio of Galaxy smartphones. So the A8 is a mere 5.9 millimeters of slimness. A very interesting and a very powerful fact is, as you see this device, I turn off the screen right now, this huge real estate is maximum screen, is maximum display. And that's possible by virtue of, if you look at the left and the right side, and you will get to experience the handsets shortly in the experience zone behind, the bezel spaces given on the side are the slimmest to be found in our portfolio. A mere 2.5 millimeters of slimness on the bezel spaces. So it gives maximum display, maximum screen on the front fascia of the phone. Moving on beyond the sheer design and the plushness of the feel of this handset in your hands is the imaging capability. Again, what we bring to bear over here in the A8 is camera capabilities hitherto found in none other than the S6 that we recently launched as a global flagship product, which incidentally we were describing to one of our media friends a short while ago, has had a resounding success and great acceptance in the Indian market. So we borrow from those learnings and those capabilities directly into the A8 with its camera. So the camera on the rear is a 16 megapixel shooter. The front is a 5 megapixel. They come with a f1.9 aperture, which basically lends towards great low light imaging capture. So in conditions of after hours or dusk or low light conditions, could be as this over here, great on low light capture. We all understand that selfies and Wi-Fis, if we were to call it, is a rage and is a very prevalent trend across all consumer segments. No doubt the A8 excels on this frontier expectedly. The front camera is capable of giving you a 120-degree wide-angle viewing selfie image. But that's not all. We do realize that consumers, as they take a lot of selfies, are at times deprived of taking a lower megapixel front resolution image for a selfie, whereas the higher resolution, the higher end camera is actually on the rear side. So through the A8, what we've enabled is great selfie capture using the rear camera as well, and how that works is quite simple and cute actually. So you know, if you turn on the camera and you want to take a selfie with the rear camera, on the display of the screen, let's say you will mark out with your finger a certain zone. Now that becomes the face detection zone. You mark that out, turn the camera, point it towards you and your friends, all of you together, and move your camera a bit. When the face or the faces appear in that target zone that you had marked out, it immediately autofocuses on that. It emits a light beep, which you know, okay, focus is caught, and the camera on its own shoots. So it does it all on its own. You just mark out the space, turn it around, and your camera picture will be shot on target the way you had planned your frame to be. So that's a very important feature which now will enable consumers to use the 16 megapixel capability to even take selfies or group fees, as we call it. Moving forward, on the camera front, very quick to launch. We all know moments can come and go in a flash, so you would not generally miss it if you have the A8 in your hand at that time. So on a standby mode, if the screen is on and you just want to launch the camera, you just double click the home button here, and in under a second, actually in 0.9 seconds, the camera comes on. If the phone is entirely on a screen off mode, or you again double click it, in a little over a second, actually 1.7 seconds, the camera will be on. So it's really quick to boot the camera as well. LTE or 4G rollouts is the next frontier in the telecom story in India, as we all know. Rest assured, A8 being a very cutting edge device is also really amped up on its LTE capability. On that front, it comes with LTE Cat6 capability, which really allows 300 Mbps download speeds, provided of course network conditions prevail and permit those kind of speeds in an area for that consumer. But really fast download speeds on 4G will be possible with this device. Another very important factor in this segment of the market, in this end of the market, is security towards data, content and other information stored in our phones. Towards that, we have also introduced the fingerprint sensor. So just touch to unlock that folder or the phone itself, whatever you have fingerprint passworded onto your screen. Again, this feature is lifted as recently from where we introduced it in the S6 and the S6 Edge. Now also powers the A8 with that security form. Some of the other specifications of this device are that this is a 5.7 inch full HD Super AMOLED, which is really signature Samsung display capability and resolution. So a 5.7 inch full HD Super AMOLED display capability that A8 comes with is hitherto found with none other than our Note series or the Note 4 flagship device of ours. So that kind of display resolution and size and clarity is what is powering the A8 as well. Camera I've already described to you, a 16 and a 5 meg with a f1.9 aperture. It comes with an octa-core 1.8, 1.3 gigahertz processor. It has a 2 GB internal RAM, 32 GB of ROM. It's expandable by another 128 gigabytes through a memory card. The battery is a long-lasting one, a powerful one for this end of a device and this depth of consumption and engagement that consumers would come to expect and enjoy with this kind of a device. The battery will boot that for many hours. It comes with a 3050 mAh battery. We partner with Airtel in India, which is the first incumbent operator which is, as we speak, rolling out 4G networks across the country, and indeed in Hyderabad as well, that it's prevalent and active through Airtel. So consumers who buy the A8 and use an Airtel service in either one of the two SIMs, it's a dual SIM, it's a hybrid dual SIM phone, which I did not mention. Well, if there is a LTE from Airtel in it, consumers would be able to enjoy a double data offer, which is to say that consumers who have a data plan for a X number of GB, for the same data plan, for that same payment, will get 2x the GB of data streaming in a month. As I already mentioned at the start, it comes with 3 color variants, black, gold and white. The consumer street price and the buy price we expect prevailing in the Indian market will be around 32,500 rupees. As we speak right now, we are going to be getting into the Indian market city by city and market by market, launching the A8 across over here. What you saw in the beginning of this presentation and right here again is how we have really positioned and how we have seen consumers would come to live and enjoy and flaunt this device. Given its premium design and given its powerful stack of hardware and software features, it's sure to invite envy for the owner of this kind of a device. That's in brief what I wanted to share with you all. So again, I'd just like to summarize some of the key points that I made here with you. 2015 looking really good. The market is buoyant. It's on a high growth path. We are ahead of the pack. We are fueling that growth in the Indian smartphone market, and no surprises therefore that we are ahead of it, and we are only strengthening and consolidating our existing leadership, and by virtue of that we've crossed the 40% smartphone market share mark in India. And with a spate of launches, and this being the 16th to date in 2015, is in large measure responsible for the kind of gains and strengths we are able to acquire further and further in the Indian market. So extremely pleased and delighted here once again to be in Hyderabad with all of you to share a very special product from our stables at the peak of all our A series, the next of A, which is Galaxy A8. Thank you very much from my side, Ashram.